I swear I've got PTSD from living in old houses all my life. I used to live in a trailer, and that trailer would get leaks all the time. You wake up at 3 in the morning, the plumbing's leaking, there's 6 inches of water on the ground, pipes bursting during the winter, stuff like that. Newer place, not quite as bad, but we had a dishwasher that went on the fritz, flooded the kitchen, pain in the neck. This is a little device that could have saved me a lot of pain and agony. This is a leak detecting auto shutoff valve. I'm going to show you how to install it, how it works, all that kind of stuff. Even if you live in a newer house, it's probably made out of components they bought at Walmart. This is something that can save you a ton of pain and agony. So we'll just show you how it works and some cool features about it and how to install it in a place like this cellar. So yeah, let's get into it. Auto shutoff leak sensing valve from iSpring. Let's install this thing. At the end of this video, I will do a full leak test with this thing and test it, turning off the water and all that kind of stuff. But before that, let's just see how this thing works. All right, let's take a quick gander at how this thing works. So first of all, to hook it up, you either got 3/4 female or 1-inch male pipe thread. You do have to have electricity to power it, so it's a USB-C. Get a really long USB-C cable to power this thing. It's got some lights telling you, like a little red light that'll come on, telling you if there's a leak and whether the valve is on or off. There's a light to tell you that. And this thing has battery backup, so even if you lose power, the battery backup will still allow this thing to turn the valve off if there's a leak. This little thing tells you that you're hooked up to the remote pucks. And this guy here tells you that you're hooked up to this little guy, this wired probe. So this is basically a ball valve. So there's a switch on the top. You can see it opens and closes that ball valve to shut off water. So pretty easy, but it is automatic and it uses electricity and magnets and stuff to actuate this on-off switch. And it can detect water in a couple ways. One way, it can use a probe, like this guy, which you're probably familiar with these. Little probe, and when water gets on these contacts, here, I'll lick my finger. Oh, and I have to have this thing turned on for that to work. There we go, it's turned on. So you get these probes wet, and then this valve will shut eventually here. It takes a few seconds because it wants to make sure that the probes are actually wet, but it is going to close that ball valve automatically. So this is a probe that you could just put, wherever. It will press and hold this button and it will unclose. There we go. Anyway, you can put this probe down wherever, like by your hot water heater or something. It'll detect if a little water gets in the hot water heater tub, and then shut the water off to the hot water heater. So great place to use this. But you could use this as a whole house system as well. There we go, valve's open back up. So press and hold that button to open the valve. But you can use this as a whole house system as well because it has these remote pucks. Now these are pretty interesting. So there's a drip detector on the top, same kind of thing as you see on the probe. So water drips on here and it'll signal this thing, and this will turn off the water to your whole house. On the bottom, there's also detectors. So we got these really low detectors. How this kind of works is, if you get water touching both of these, it creates continuity for like a low voltage continuity, which tells this thing to signal. So that's how it works. Otherwise, there's a high humidity, which is these guys up here. So we have to get about 1/4 inch of water under this thing before it signals the main valve needs to shut. And you can press this button and set either regular, which is the lower dots, or the humid, which is these higher dots. So really neat how this thing works. Anyway, let's talk about how to install this thing. Now, I can't tell you exactly where you want to mount this thing. It's kind of up to you. But I would say put it as close to the source of your water as you can. You know, after your water meter, maybe even after a valve to shut off the water to the house. But you could always install one of those, pretty easy to do. And then put this electric valve in there. You do want to make sure you've got electricity nearby. So for example, in this install, this is our main line coming into our house. Don't ask me why it works like this, it just does. I could put it right here. And look at this. I put some electricity right here because you do need to have an electrical outlet somewhere near it. GFCI outlet, you got to have one of those. But this would be a great placement right here. Cut the line, electrical right there, easy to work. And as soon as we get a leak detected, shuts off the water coming into the house. Now the first thing you got to do when you want to install this thing is buy some fittings. So you go out to the hardware store. I'm using some 3/4 inch shark bite fittings, so 3/4 inch male, so 3/4 inch shark bite, or PEX, whatever you want to call it. So the main unit will either use as a female that's a 3/4 you can screw this into, or a male 1 inch. So I'm using 3/4 inch to 3/4 inch. I guess the first thing you got to do is figure out what size pipe you're going to attach the main unit to. So this is the second step, but whatever. Just buy a million of these things and a million other things you don't need, and then get ready to actually put this thing together. You know what really grinds my gears about these big hardware stores? You go in, you buy your stuff. They don't want anybody working the checkout counters, so you got to check out your own stuff, scan your own stuff, and you'd think because they got lower overhead because they don't employ anybody anymore, that your prices would be lower, but prices haven't gone down at all. Anyway, I'll put links to all the stuff I'm using in this video in the description of the video. We will want a couple tools for doing this install. If your house is plumbed with PEX, you're going to need a PEX cutting tool. If you got copper pipes, you're going to need a copper pipe cutting tool like that one or this one. We're going to need some thread tape and some pipe dope. I'm just using thread tape. Your mileage may vary. Get yourself one of these tools. It might not look just like this, but this is a deburring tool. So it deburrs pipes, smooths them out, and also a depth gauge, which I'll show you why that matters in a minute here. And probably a couple wrenches to hook this thing up. But other than that, not too many tools going to be required. So after you got all your tools together and all your fittings and stuff, I would really recommend taking these pucks, these remotes, and pairing them to the machine first. It's really easy to do. You put the batteries in, you press a button on the front. That's not the button, that's the button. Press a button on the front, and it pairs with the main unit. So mate all of these up first, and then go place them wherever you want to in your house. You know, the biggest places you're going to want to put these is under your sinks, maybe in your utility room where your washer and dryer are. You know, the hoses that go into your washer are notorious for springing leaks at the most inopportune times. Put this down on the floor right behind your washer and dryer. Put this down by your hot water heater, whatever. You can use up to 8 of them. Find some good places, especially under sinks, where you can put these to detect leaks and turn off the water if you don't want water spraying everywhere. All right, let's talk about installing this thing. So prep work, you're going to figure out where you want to place this thing. Do you want to shut off all the water in your house when it detects a leak? Do you just want to put it by your hot water heater, whatever? Either way, what you really got to do is turn off the water supply to your house, flush all your water lines, flush all the toilets, run all the sinks till you're not getting any water coming out of anything, because you're going to cut some water lines to install this thing, and you don't want that water all up in your face the whole time you're doing it. So cut off your water lines. All right, so let's start by getting the main unit set up and ready to be plumbed in. Now I'm using these press to fit fittings. People always give you crap online for using these. I'm here to tell you they work well as long as you install them correctly. We'll get our pipe tape, wrap them around here. Let's see, we're going to turn to the right, so we want it to be on this side. We're going to pretend that we're installing the pipe right now, and we want the tape to get tighter around it. So why do people give you so much trouble for using these press to fit? I don't know. They just don't think you're as tough of a guy when you install these because we're not sweating copper or whatever. They're fine, they work great, but you do need to install them correctly, and I'll talk about that in a sec here after we screw this on here. So we're just going to screw it in, and go ahead and get out your wrench and tighten this down. But I would really recommend installing both sides onto the main unit before trying to plumb it in. Now, a lot of keyboard warriors are going to give a person crap for using these press-to-fit PEX SharkBite fittings, but I'm here to tell you they're the great way to go for a DIYer. And the reason is a couple reasons. One, you don't have to have a lot of tools or expertise to make them work. You just press them on to whatever you're pressing them onto, and as long as you install them correctly with the correct measurement tool, something like this, and I'll show you how to use that in a sec, they work really, really great. They'll also let you transition from copper. So if you have copper under your house, you can transition from copper to PEX or copper to copper. But it'll let you hook this thing up and slide it onto whatever you want. So you don't have to sweat copper if you have copper under your house. I'm here to tell you I've seen more DIY jobs and professional jobs where copper started leaking because it was improperly sweat than I've ever seen a properly inserted, and it's easy to tell when it's properly inserted, slip-on PEX adapter leak. This is just way more likely to leak because you're probably not sweating pipes every day, so you're not very good at it, so you're going to have bad sweats. Just how it is. Anyway, these are just going to be the way to go. Let's install this one on here, then we'll talk more about proper install. Okay, we've got our main unit ready to go with our press-in fittings. It's going to be okay, guys. Don't let the internet scare you. We are all ready to go. Let's figure out the kind of pipe we're hooking to. In this example, we got some PEX. If you got that PEX cutter I told you to get, again, I'll link to all these in the description. And you've emptied out all the water lines in your house. We can cut into the middle of the pipe and either cut another chunk out to fit the machine, or if you've got enough flex in your PEX you don't need to. And then we're going to slide the PEX into these PEX fittings. But it's a really good idea to use a tool like this. I don't know if they still make this one anymore. This one I like because it looks like a pan flute. But take this thing and put it on the PEX, even for PEX pipe. If you're using it for copper, it's really important. And you kind of spin it around. And this will, you can see here, deburr the PEX. That's how you make sure you get a good fit. Step 2, after you clean your schmutz off it, shove that in there, and this works with copper or PEX. Grab your, where'd it go? Grab your Sharpie, and again, this works on copper or PEX. Make a mark right here. So you can tell I've been making marks in the past on this thing. Make a mark right there. So this is a depth and deburring gauge. See how deep this thing goes? This tells you how deep your fitting needs to go. It doesn't even look like it'll go that deep, and that's the problem you're going to have with these. If people ever say these things fail, it's because they didn't push them in far enough. So you line them up here, and you're going to press. And you'll kind of feel it bottom out, but see there. There, our line tells us, that's our witness, that we're hooked up correctly. We'll do it on the other side too. There we go, bottomed out real nice. So that's not bad at all. So now we are installed in line in our house. Pretty stinking easy. Okay, here is my advanced testing apparatus. So I've got a garden hose hooked up to this guy. I do have it plugged in. I'm not going to rely on the battery backup. We're going to use regular electricity. And I've got this plugged off here, and I have a nice little hole that I made in the PEX pipe, and I have tested it. It does indeed leak everywhere. My pants can attest to that. I got a little bowl here. I got the remote puck. We're just going to turn the water in, on, spray the puck, and watch this thing turn off. It does take a few seconds to turn off. It's not instant. This isn't stinking TikTok, guys. Okay, so this thing figured out right away that there's a leak. It's beeping. There we go, disaster averted. It will beep to let you know that it has turned off. So now you need to get down to wherever this thing is after you fix your leak. Okay, my leak is now fixed, I think. And then we got to reset this thing. So instead of turning the valve, we're going to press and hold this thing for 4 seconds. And then wait while it thinks about it. And it will reset itself. And water will start spraying out of there again, but yeah, we'll be able to see how it works. All right, so that's all there is to it. Auto shutoff valve with water sensing probes or pucks or whatever you want to call it. A great investment to make if you have an old house or a new house that's made out of Walmart parts that's going to leak eventually. And it always happens when you're on vacation. So this can save you just a gob of time and money and frustration. Yeah, great little setup there.